Welcome back. I'm already a bit dirty. I've been doing some odd jobs around here. It's supposed to be tidying up. Jeez, I'm messy. We're going to change the power steering pump on this. I did just waffle for a long time and then realised that I did something wrong, so I'm going to keep my waffling a bit shorter hopefully this time. Basically, this camper didn't have power steering originally. I managed to pick up the power steering rack and pipes to go to the back, but then I realised that I could get an electric power steering pump to fit to the front and join up to the rack. My mate braked Saxos at the time, so they had an electric power steering pump. Borrowed one, got it, mounted under there, got some custom pipes made, all good. And that went on for a while. Then we went into hibernation for a while for this camper. Came back out, wouldn't work, hit it with a hammer, power steering pump worked again. Over the next few years, it's been getting a bit more and more temperamental. I've been hitting it with a hammer even more and more and more. And so I thought it was about time to try and replace it. So, looked online, £200 to £600 for the whole complete unit. Wow. Thought about changing it, but then I realised you could buy just the motors, because that's, I think, most probably the problem, not the actual hydraulic pump itself. £140, not bad, but then on AliExpress, they all come from China anyway. 50 quid later, we have ourselves a pump that nearly looks the same. Nearly. So what we're going to try to do is drop that pump out and see if we can undo the 4 screws. That's all it takes, 4 screws. How easy, how hard can that be? Let's find out. Okay. First issue we're coming across. I thought the motor just bolts onto the hydraulic pump. It sort of does, but the bolts come through the hydraulic pump into the motor and they screw into the motor and tighten that. So it looks like you've got the hydraulic pump as well as some sort of gubbins reservoir on the back of that as well. It's not the proper reservoir, but there's, and it's basically there's 2 parts of the pump. And now I'm undoing the screws, they're coming apart. Obviously fluid's leaking out, isn't it? So yeah, tray underneath, catch all the fluids. Alrighty. Yeah, not loads of fluid came out, which is good. Old motor out with it's got its the mount on it as well, rubber mounted. It looks similar. This obviously has a square thing in here. See if this fits on first. Well, that at least goes on. It's always a good sign. Both motors turn to a certain extent, but I think it's more like the brushes or something. It was just, it took a bit of oomph to get going. I don't think there's any specific way apart from making sure your wires come out. Plug socket looks the same. So let's see if we can get this rubber mount off and see how it's fitted and go from there. Okay, so you can see the other motor there, you see. Okay, after a bit of faffing about and my mistakes, I realised that I hadn't checked to see if the plug on the new motor plugged in properly or correctly to my old wiring. Obviously, if you've got Saxo, double check and stuff, whatever car you're doing this on. I did it after and I forgot to do it before sort of putting it all in, so it's a bit awkward. The cable's just long enough once it's in. But anyway, I didn't realise that. That's why the motor, when I first tried it the other day, it didn't work. I've come back another day. and realised that, and there's basically inside the plug there's a little plastic pin that sort of again sort of locates the very last bit of it, because it was going in most of the way, 50%, but it wasn't going actually on enough to then lock the plug. This has got like an ECU type lock on it where you lock it across and it pulls the plugs together. So anyway, I've got the pliers in there, snapped that little bit off, plug went all the way in this time, clipped up, checked a few other wires, double checked by just bypassing the relay without the engine running, and I heard the pump spin up. Checked the steering, it worked. Definitely a lot quieter than the last motor, which isn't a surprise because obviously the old motor was going up. Fingers crossed this is the problem. We'll just have to time will tell now after we run it a few times and see if it, if we've got to hit it with a hammer at all anymore. But fingers crossed. So I just need to bolt it back up, finish this job off, lock it out, get it out of here, and get back onto other projects. So I just wanted to let you know I'm still alive. Just.